Hello everyone, I'm Omkar Chaudhary and welcome to the BIZ Talks wherein we are in conversation with tycoons of today. After having an interview with Ms.Vasani, I got a lot of DMs and a lot of messages that when can we have Deepika Vasani on the show? And finally, I stayed up to that and we have Deepika Vasani today. So speaking about Deepika Vasani, the very first time when I interacted with her, I asked her, how would you define yourself? And she was the one saying, Omkar, I won't put an end to the possibilities because to define me, I'm open to all of them. She's currently doing photography, she's doing baking, she's being a teacher. She has closed herself as a chartered accountant, but she's open to all the other possibilities out there. I mean, what a beautiful entrepreneur she is. I really want to get to know about her, and we have her today in the conversation. And also, before I introduce her, I want to introduce the very beautiful, witty, and the smart, my co-host, Zavia Dalal.
Yeah, Omkar, stop complimenting me so much in every bloody podcast.
OMG, OMG. Can you just see how racist she is been? I mean, this Deepika told us that when you're getting the compliments, please take it. Zavia, I think you should listen to the beautiful guest that we have today. Deepika, what a pleasure to interact with you. Welcome to the
Hi,
Best Talks, wherein
Omkar.
we are in conversation with tycoons of today.
Thank you so much
Hey,
for that
Deepika.
lovely introduction, Omkar. Hi, Ms. Dalal. It is a pleasure speaking to you guys, and I'm so honored that I could be a part of this session that you have planned. Let's see what you have in store for me today.
We are honored to have you on our show, and it is great that we're getting to talk to you. And I hope that our viewers especially, take a lot of learnings from.
I hope so too.
Definitely. So,
Right.
Deepika, the very first thing that I want to put across is about your Instagram. I want to talk about your Instagram because I feel
Okay.
that's the way the person reflects himself or the herself out there on the social life. And speaking
Okay.
about your Instagram, it's so colorful, it's so natural and organic. And I feel that you're living a happy and a healthy and a creative life. So please tell
Okay.
us, what is it all about?
All right. Speaking about the Instagram profile, Omkar, firstly, social media is one platform where people are given a chance to express themselves and who they really are without having a lot of people judging you right into your face. Even there, they're judging, people are judging, but they judge by themselves, talks among themselves, and then it goes away. So when I started off initially, I started clicking because it made me happy. And genuinely, that was the only reason. It was not to promote anything or to tell people that yes, I can click, I travel, this is what I eat. No, none of that. It was just because it makes me happy at the end of the day. And eventually I have certain followers because most of my students really like what I do, so they relate to me on a personal level. They feel I am much more approachable after reading whatever I write or putting across my thoughts. And for me, I feel that art or content for that matter suits a person when they're going through something. Okay, this is something that I have felt when I see a lot of people creating content. I know the effort behind that, but what comes out of it really helps me to go through a lot of things that I do go through. I mean, it all looks fancy on Instagram, but people have their own problems. So art has
Right.
helped me calm down or help me get through whatever I was going through. And I feel a little bit of what I do does help people, because I do get messages from people saying that they make this has made them feel better, or this, they were having a shitty day and this has helped them get through that shitty day. So for that purpose, I keep going, and I just like to put out there on my profile what I like. It's just how I live my little life. And for me, it's never been about fancy things. Okay, a lot of people feel that you need to travel countries to have a happening life, or you need to have a lot of money to have a happening life. But for me, it's always been about little things. Like just you mentioned that
Right.
there was barish. I would just take my cup of chai and listen to the sound of the rain and some kind of music, and I would try to put that in a picturesque manner. So, you know, really have to go big to get simple pleasures of life. So that's how I like to put it, and that's what you see on my Instagram profile. Since you really liked it, so thank you so much for actually taking the trouble to go through it. It means a lot.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, it was not a trouble. It was a pleasureful sight, I must say. And definitely, I
Right.
really resonate with your point that you need not go and travel the beautiful countries out there. Like, if you can, definitely you should. But
Yes, you
it's not
should.
necessary for you to go out and travel to make your life picturesque
Correct.
and very beautiful.
True.
there are small little things that can give you a lot of happiness as well.
Absolutely. It's always about the little things.
Right, right. And Deepika, speaking about another fact, like what has changed your life in the past 5 years? If you had to brief it, how would you?
Okay. Um, I would say, first of all, experience. Experience has changed my life. I won't say that I have grown 5 years older by age and that has helped me, because I very much believe that age is just a number, and experience is what actually makes you grow. So I have been through a lot of things happen, and that's what helps you grow. So experiences help me grow. And again, it's the it's a very general statement that I'm making out here, but failure has helped me. I am a CA right now, and back when I was a CA student, I have failed, and that changed my entire perspective about how I am taking things. And failure does help. Okay, honestly, as much as people say failure is the stepping stone to success, and it sounds very cliche, but the thing about that is it is true. It is true, and I can tell you this because I have failed a couple of times. And for me, I want to live by the fact that it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to stay there once you have failed. So coming back up is what actually makes you grow. Change is what makes you grow, and acceptance to whatever is happening in and around you makes you grow. So my work, my family, the lifestyle, everything has changed over the years. And if people say that you have changed, I'd like to take it as a compliment. If people say you're still the same, that is not something I look forward to.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, definitely there's one thing that I really want to quote, that when I was in conversation with Tushar Khanna, he's a serial actor out there,
Okay.
and he also said he have been through many auditions to be a part of that daily soap,
Yes.
and you get rejected several times. But your
Yes.
reconstruction power, your reconstruction factor is something that's going to define your success. If you're able to
Absolutely.
reconstruct yourself at a greater pace, then definitely you're more successful than others.
True. True.
Wonderful, Deepika. I mean, that's really gorgeous.
Thank you.
And since you are such a creative person, I want to know, what is the power of creativity? You have been writing books, you have been talking so much about the creativity. So tell us, what is the power of creativity?
Power of creativity is it could pull somebody who has no hope left with them, and want them to lead a better life. Okay, and that is exactly around what my life revolves. I would say that I have gone through a lot of things on a personal level, and what has not stopped me from giving up is art. It's creativity, and that is the power that creativity has had on me. It is very soothing. If you see, whenever people are wounded, a lot of things happen in everyone's life, and maybe they fail an exam, or maybe they lose a job, maybe they have a breakup, whatever rough patch it is. At the end of the day, people come to art. Okay, if you've noticed that, you see the initial phase of lockdown that happened when people were, if it was the strict lockdown that we had, people started appreciating things that they have. They started cooking at home. They started talking to their family. They started doing a lot of creative things. And I read a lot of articles at that point which said that no matter how busy you were throughout your life, when nothing comes in your way, you can always go back to creativity. It is that creativity that has helped you become who you are today. And it makes you learn, it helps you grow, and it helps another person to get through at the end of the day. And I'm saying this because creativity has helped me rise from the time that I have fallen. And creativity could be anything. You changing a sentence right now and putting it in a different form is creativity. You guys thinking of this initiative and wanting to make a difference is creativity. Painting a beautiful picture is creativity. Baking something is creativity. So it's your perspective on creativity. And it has helped me get through. And I feel that that is the only reason I will not stop.
Definitely. If I were to quote it out over here, I feel that even entrepreneurship is a kind of a creativity, right?
Of course it is. You are creating a whole new business out there. You're creating yourself. You're creating a lot of other business people. You're creating so much by starting entrepreneurship.
Right, right. Zabia, how do you find this? I mean, we're interacting today with a creative person. It's not the normal traditional entrepreneurship or the mentors talks that we have. It's something creative that we have with us today, like Deepika Vasani. So how are you feeling? What's your thought right now?
Well, creativity is something that is close to a lot of people's heart when it comes to, why, it could be anything. It could be blog writing, it could be art, it could be like anything in the world. And you have written a lot of blogs as well. You are a poet, you write blogs, you've written books. So tell us about that. Like, what are your thoughts when you pen down your poetries, and what are your thoughts when you pen down your blogs?
Okay. So when I started writing, I was somewhere in the ninth standard. I remember there was some classmate group from ITC had come to our school, and they had asked us to write a story which was purely fictional, completely imaginary, and it was just a basic, simple competition which they conducted across all the schools in and around Karnataka. And at that point, I just wrote something. I scribbled something on my paper, and I submitted that. And out of about the 4,000 students that participated, I happened to come second in the entire fraternity. And I was really surprised that I could write this, because after I read what I have written, I didn't think that I could, actually make it to the second place. But ever since that day, I have started writing a little bit. And my writing has also changed over a period of years. Back then, it would be a little too teenagerish, because I was one then. And then I came into college.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that. And after that, it became related to work. I don't write business articles, because I feel there are enough people out there who will do that. But I write something that actually relates to me, that I can relate, I have felt. And the reason I do that is because I want to tell people out there that they are not alone. Okay, most of the times when people are going through hardships in their life, they feel that they are the only ones going through it. But when they read pain of the other people, it somehow comforts them that they are not the only one. And if that other person is fighting, they can fight through this as well. So writing blogs or poetry has only come through experience. None of what I have written out there is simply written for the sake of it. It's something that I've been through, and whatever I have felt. And if I'm not able to express it to somebody verbally, I can at least do that through my writing. And that's how the blogs and the poems that you've seen have come up.
Wow, that's amazing, because it is true that people resonate a lot with what they see when it is written. So like one of your blogs that I resonated with was On the Path of Zero Fucks and Freedom. When you talk about that blog, you have written about how a person should not live onto the expectations of others, and rather live up to the expectations of what they have from themselves.
Yes, that's
exactly. So yeah, please, I really want to know about how you put that thought in your life, how you manage to bring what you've written in your life.
Okay. Again, it has come by experience. When you are in school, your parents expect you to get good grades, or the society expects you to get good grades. And after that, it's been that famous battle between science and commerce and arts. And after that, what about your post-graduation? And then what businesses are you going to do? Or when are you going to get married? And we just run around in those circles, not knowing when we are actually, going to live for ourselves. So I do respect the society's ideas. I do respect my parents. And coming to the end of it, ultimately, I want to respect myself, because there is no point living in a big bungalow and having that 6-digit salary when you are not happy while going to sleep. So I'm not a person who says you shouldn't work. I work a lot. When you see me working, you won't see me anywhere. I do believe in working extremely hard, and I have done that through my journey. But I want to make it very clear that at the end of your day, you should make yourself happy, and that's what matters. You have to stop listening to people, and you have to stop giving you have to listen to them. You can listen to them, you can see what they have to say, but you have to stop living your life the way they want you to live it. And that's how that article has come. It has come through a lot of frustration, but a final realization that whatever it is, though it's taken me 24 years of my life, I know that from now on, I'm going to live for myself. And that's how that article
wow,
has
that's awesome. I think that is something that people should bring into their lives, because we all live by expectations from everyone, and we always think
Yes.
about like, if I take this step of it, or if I do this thing, what will others think of me? Even when it comes to business,
Right.
when a person wants to start a business, they always think about, यार मैं ये चीज कर तो लेता हूँ, बट इसका आउटपुट क्या आएगा, इसका लोग क्या सोचेंगे, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, मैंने ये क्यों किया. बहुत से लोग आके ये भी बोलेंगे कि यार ये मत कर, इट्स नॉट प्रॉफिटेबल, इट्स नॉट समथिंग दैट यू शुड बी डूइंग, व्हाई
True.
डोंट यू just do a job. So people have their inputs in your life, people keep talking about what you want, like, you know, what you should do, they tell you. So I think this is one thing that people can take away from your blogs, your writings, and your life, that, you know, live your life for yourself and not for others. Now,
Yes.
bringing back to the questionnaire, so please tell me about your teaching. Like, you do it for passion, right? And you've been into it for 6 years. So
Yes.
how do you manage the students, and what is your profession? Please tell us about that.
Okay, so I am a chartered accountant by profession, and I specialize in training students who are pursuing their CA. And this happened to me when I went to my boss currently, and I had told him 6 years back that I want to quit CA because I believe that whatever you guys do is extremely boring, and I don't want to live that kind of a life. And this is
Okay.
exactly how I started my journey. And he said that I want you to join my firm and teach students. So I said, okay, fine. I jumped at the opportunity, and the thing about teaching is you have to be friends with the students first. I've had
Right.
over 3,000 students so far in my 6 years. And when I've started teaching, I was a student myself. I was just 21 when I started teaching. And whilst I was
Right.
teaching, I was also studying. So I finished my CA just 2 years back, but I've been teaching since 6 years. And that connection with the students is very important when you teach. But more importantly, I want to teach with the intention of telling the students that you don't have to be a person who gets 99 out of 100 to be someone who's learning. You have to be a person who's wanting to learn. And that's how you learn.
Right.
Your marks are second. And for me, the effort of the student, the mindset of the student, how much hard work they put in, that's what matters. And you guys must have been familiar with the stories of CAs, how many times they fail and how failure is so common in CAs, how students take a lot of toll on themselves. And that is something I have managed to change. I could say at least 60% of my students, they take failure positively. And I do give a lot of
Right.
counseling to them. So when they fail, they come to me and I tell them that it's okay to fail, because we are told not to fail, but we are never told that it's okay to this law from my students. And I handle the subject of strategic management. Though I don't look like a very business type of person, but my subjects revolve around business and
what teaching is and what entrepreneurship is. I really love that aspect about you, Deepika.
I told you, right, Omkar, I wanted to start teaching in fourth standard. This is because my class teacher, she was beating me on my knuckles for the very fact that I did not understand maths as every other kid in the class did, or for the fact that I had pathetic handwriting. And she told me that I will not do anything in life because I have bad handwriting, or I couldn't do 2 plus 2 or something like that. Okay. And I was like, how do people, for such small kids, how do they define their future when I don't even know what I want to do tomorrow? So
Right.
these are a few things that I have learned throughout my teaching life, is to not be the way I was taught in school. And I just want to make that kind of a difference. And that is what I'm trying to do.
Right. So tell your teacher that today you're there on BIZ Talks as a
Oh,
guest
I
speaker.
went. No, I did it some other way actually. After I finished my CA, and she called me to give a seminar in the school for motivating students. So I think that itself was, was sufficient up there. So I went back
Right.
to my school and I was giving a session for all my students, and she got her answer. That's okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I think Zabia, quick, anything that you want to ask Deepika?
Actually, I forgot the question that I wanted to ask her because of you.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your fault. So I can't remember actually. It was like it was it just came with the spur of the moment. So I kind of I remember now. Yeah, so it is in one of Sushant Singh Rajput's movies, Chichore. It was said that हमें ये पता है कि सक्सेस के बाद क्या करना है, बट फेलियर के बाद क्या करना है, कैसे अप्रोच करना है, ये हमें कोई नहीं बताता.
Exactly.
So I think that is something you tend to teach your students, that it's okay to fail, it's okay to it's okay to succeed. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I believe in that.
Mistake again. So I think that is
because I have been that person who has taken failure in a negative way the first time I failed. And from then to take failure in a positive way, I have grown so much. So I'm not persuading people to fail. In no way I'm persuading them to fail, but it happens. Sometimes things are beyond your control, and how much ever effort you've put, they don't work out. But that doesn't mean they never will. You can work it out in a better way. There's always your time.
Right.
And you make your time. It's not like destiny does that for you. You fix it yourself.
Right.
So what would you like to, what is the last thing that you would like our viewers to know that, that you have learned in your life and you would like to give away to them?
All right. These are two words from the alphabet H that are very close to me. One is hard work and one is humble. To be humble in whatever aspect you're working on in your life, no matter how successful you become, you still have to be humble, because that's when people actually feel like being around you. And hard work. I've been a person who was studying 16 to 18 hours a day for my exams, and I work even 20 hours a day when I have to. So never ever stop working hard. Hard work will beat everything else that will come your way. Never stop working hard and never stop being humble, and enjoy the little things in life, because they are actually the big things. Cliche again, but
right.
That's exciting. That's
really something to take away, definitely.
Right. So I think it was a very fruitful session with Deepika Vasani, wherein we spoke about how do you enjoy the small little things out there in the life. Like right from, she was a CA, and the society tends to tell her that, oh, you have got a CA, better wear a formal than go to a MNC. But she chose to live her life on her own terms, doing photography, teaching the students, as well as doing baking, and a lot of writing great poetries out there. So Deepika, it was a great time with you, and thank you so much for being on BIZ Talks.
Thank you guys for having me. I really love talking to the both of you, and I hope I can stay in touch with the two of you.
Thank you so much, Deepika. It was a pleasure to speak to you, and really for our viewers, I hope that you could take some really good learnings from Deepika Vasani. Thank you so much, Deepika, for coming.